Okay, take a look at the first one. Okay, so liquid A, there's liquid A and then there's liquid B. So what I want to normally do is I want to write out all I know about A and write out all that I know about B. So for liquid A, we were told the mass is 360. We also know the density is 1.2 gram per cm cube. Now from this alone, I can find out the volume. Okay, can you press the calculator? Tell me what this will be. You should get 300 cm cube. Okay, again for liquid B, I'm going to list out all the things I know about liquid B. I know the mass, I know the density. Then from here, I can find the volume using the formula. Okay, the volume will be 100 cm cube. Is this okay so far? This one should be okay. Then when they ask you for the volume of the mixture, you're simply just going to add them together to find that the volume of the mixture is 400 cm cube. Make sense to you? So this one I think is easy, 400 cm cube. My concern, however, is the next question. When they ask for the density of the mixture, without fail, there will always be a group of students who think that by adding the two densities together, I'll get the answer. Now, by adding the two densities together, you're not going to get the answer. Understand? How to do this? They want the density of mixture. You want to find the mass of the mixture, divide by the volume of the mixture. So what is the mass of the mixture? You add the two mass together, 360, 100. Then what is the volume of the mixture? We found out that it's 400, right? So eventually this is how you're going to get the answer. Add the total mass divided by the total volume. You should finally get the answer to be 1.15 gram per cm cube. Understand? This is just to reinforce your understanding of alloy questions. Who got this both correct? Okay, good. Understand how this is done now. Pause the recording here first. So I continue to talk about the next one. This is an alloy. So it's a mixture of different materials. And they actually tell you what they add together, cobalt and then iron. So same thing, I want to know, write down all that I know about cobalt. The mass, it's 450 grams. Density, it's 9 gram per cm cube. From these two, I can find the volume. Okay, now press the calculator, tell me what is the volume going to be. What is 450 over 9? What do you guys have? Please tell me. Sorry, 50 cm cube. Okay, 50 cm cube is the volume. Then now, write out all you know about iron. Iron, the mass is 240 grams. The density is 8 gram per cm cube. Okay, what is the volume going to be now? Do this for me. What would you get, all of you? 30 cm cube. So later they ask for the density of the alloy. The density will be the total mass, which is 450 plus 240 divided by the total volume, which is 50 plus 30. This is how you get the answer. Is this clear? Okay, good. Now, there is, who got this correct as well? Most of you, huh? There is one type of question that I've seen before. It's quite challenging. So I want to teach you how to do this, okay? But before I show you, I just want to give you some time and see who can solve this. Pause the recording here first. Okay. Now, for this difficult question, I'm going to do a bit of coloring here to make things simpler. Look at the screen now. I'm going to color these two in blue to tell us that From these two diagrams, we know that the mass of the water, I've just write H2O, right? The mass of the water is actually 500 grams. You agree on this? Now, what many of you didn't do in your working is to find out what is the volume of this water using the fact that you know the density is 1. So what is the volume of this water? You take the mass over the density, you're actually going to get 500 cm cubed as well. This is telling me that the space I have when I fill up to this level, the space that it occupies is 500 cm cubed. So this is important. I'll explain later why. Using these two diagrams, we can actually find out what is the mass of the sand. Agree? So what is the mass of the sand? 892. Understand it so far? Okay. Now, using this, we can actually find out what is the mass of the water that I have inside. So can you do this now for me? What is the mass of the water I have inside here? 1,500, 1,200. How much is this? 300. Agree? Yes. And what is this volume of water? 300. 300 cm cubed. But don't forget, how much can the container contain? If the water is filled up to this level, how much can it contain? No, it can contain 500 cm cubed. How much space does this occupy? How much space does this occupy? That's my point. If the water is filled up to this level, how much space is occupied? It's 500. You understand what I'm doing here so far? So the space occupied is 500, but 300 is because of the water. What can you tell me is the volume of the sand? The volume of sand is how much? 200 cm cubed. Understand? Maybe he got it. So now you know the mass of the sand, you know the volume of the sand. Can you find the density of the sand now? It's 892 over 200. Press the calculator, what would you get? What would you get? 4.46. Who got it? $5 is yours, right? Who else got 4.46? Okay, let's pause the recording here. You go. Okay, look at this. Again, I think it's good to draw out visually what it looks like. So for example, I have a large tin can. Okay, of course my drawing is going to be ugly. Still ugly. Okay. And then total volume. It's not showing, is it? Yeah. The total volume is actually the space that it occupies. So the volume is 0.018. Okay. They say that when it is full of water, this part is important. When we say full of water, what is the volume of the water? It's 0.018. Because this is the space occupied. It doesn't matter what you fill. It can be water, it can be sand. But once you can fill it entirely, this is going to be the volume of the water. Now you mustn't forget that the density of water, this number you must memorize. The reason why you cannot do is because you have forgotten. Remember it to be 1 gram per cm cube. But I also told you how to do the shortcut and convert to kg per meter cube. So this is the two info you need to memorize. Memorize what is the density of water. It's either 1 or 1,000, depending on what unit you prefer. Understand this? Knowing this, can you now find out what is the mass of the water? You can take the density times the volume. This will work out to be 18 kg. So the water is 18 kg. But when they say that the entire tin is 20 kg, that means 2 kg is the mass of the tin. Understand? The tin itself is 2 kg. Okay, I stop here first. Can you follow what I'm saying? Okay, I pause the recording. You copy this first. Knowing that 2 kg is the mass of the empty, the empty tin, let's look at what they tell us about when it is filled with a certain liquid. It is actually 16.4. This 16.4 is actually the mass of the tin plus 14.4. This is the liquid. Is this clear to you? Because when you add these two values, you should get back the 16.4. Understand? So this is the mass of the liquid. This is the mass of the liquid. And you know what is the volume supposed to be? Since it's filled, the volume will still be the space of the entire tin. The volume remains this because that is the space occupied. So to find the density, of the liquid, the last part they ask for the density of the liquid, right? You take the mass divided by the volume, then you get the answer here. Is this clear now? Okay, so what is the reason why many of you couldn't do this at first? It's because this question expects you to know and memorize the density of water. Okay, stop the recording here. Guys,